Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Keipert Labs. In today's video we're going to be discussing the concept of radioactivity. Okay, so a quick detour back down memory lane, going to the year 1896 to a French physicist named Henri Becquerel. So around about this time, he had been working with a new substance, or a substance that they were working harder to understand a little bit more about, called uranium. Hopefully with a little bit of knowledge now that you can recognize how interesting that may well have been. And so that it was working with this substance that contained uranium, and they were making all sorts of observations about it. And what then he noticed was that okay, so here we have basically a piece of photographic paper, photographic film, sheet paper. Okay, basically in old-fashioned cameras, that then it was this material that darkened in response to when it was exposed to light. So it darkened when it was exposed to light, in areas where it was exposed to light, and then that's how a photograph was developed. Okay, and so then what he noticed that then he had this sheet of photographic film that was sitting in his desk or on his desk or something like that, and then nearby was a lump of this uranium ore, this rock containing uranium, and it was sitting on or nearby. Okay, and then after a day or some sort of period of time, then he noticed that then the photographic film in this area where it was darker. So it had darkened. But it was a cloudy day. It was, it was kind of wet weather. There was no sunshine to be seen. This was not an issue that the sun had actually kind of somehow snuck through and created this pattern. But then Becquerel then suggested or kind of hypothesized that it was something to do with this uranium ore, this ore that was here, suggesting that there was something about it that was actually causing this particular phenomenon, this observation that he could make. And so then this developed the concept, or kicked off our understanding of what we call radioactivity. Okay, that some particular substances that emit a radiation, or this type of energy, or these new kind of waves or beams of energy that then cause substances to react in all sorts of different ways. Okay, and so to try and understand a little bit more about why substances are radioactive, okay, we need to come back to the nucleus. Okay, so say we have an atom of lithium. So lithium has an atomic number of 3, which means it's got 3 protons in its nucleus and typically 4 neutrons. Okay, so in its nucleus, okay, so we've got 7, so 7 particles altogether, a mass of 7. Okay, and then as we go further and further up, as we get towards substances that are very, very large, we get towards uranium. Now, uranium is the heaviest naturally occurring element, and it has an atomic number of 92, and it will typically have 200 a mass in its nucleus of 238. So you can imagine, okay, so you keep all going all the way through, etc., etc. I don't have enough time or effort or inclination to draw it all, but this idea being that this nucleus gets very, very large, so large in size and mass, so it's big and it's heavy, and what happens is that when the nucleus becomes this big and heavy, it is unstable. That the atom, this is not a stable way for that atom to be. To try and connect all of those particles together, all of those protons and those neutrons in this nucleus, of this uranium, very large uranium atom, what it does is that it becomes unstable, and so what it does to respond to that, or to try and become more stable, it breaks down. Okay, and so what then happens that in breaking down, that then radiation is released. Okay, as a result of this breaking down process. Okay, so I'm going to illustrate a little bit about how that works now. Okay, so what we have over here, let's say this is the nucleus of an atom of uranium-238, so one of the more common isotopes. Actually, no, I will change that slightly to uranium-235. Okay, so a slightly lighter one, but it's still a very big, very large nucleus. What will happen is that what we notice is that we talked about that this is unstable, and spontaneously after a certain amount of time, what it will do is it actually breaks apart into two smaller nuclei. Okay, so there could, depending on exactly how this happens, there could be a whole range of different elements that this might do. But what we get is we get two smaller nuclei, and so that is, these are new elements. Okay, and so what has happened in this situation, this process in the middle is called nuclear fission. Okay, so it's spelled like the word mission, but with an F. Okay, and so it means basically splitting. Okay, so fission refers to splitting. We talk about bacteria undergoing binary fission to split into two to make new bacteria. Nuclear fission, where we have one nucleus that splits to make smaller nuclei. Okay, and so what we've done, we've got new elements, and so what we call this process, because we have made new elements as a result, we call it transmutation. Okay, so transmutation, where we're turning one element into a totally new element. Okay, so one element to new elements. Okay, and so what happens as a result of this is that we have turned from uranium and we've ended up to some different elements here. So maybe we've got we might have krypton, we might have calcium, we might have barium, or something else. Okay, it totally, yeah, there are certain things that are a bit more predictable about it, but not very much so. And so we've ended up with two smaller nuclei, so that then we say all mass is conserved. Okay, so that is all particles are accounted for when this splitting happens. Okay, but then yeah, but so we've still gone from uranium to produce new elements. Okay, and so what we're going to do in the next video, we're going to talk through, okay, well, we say that, all right, so some elements are big and unstable, and then they spontaneously break apart to make new elements, transmutation, through the process of nuclear fission, because of this splitting. And so in doing so, that then radiation kind of gets released. All right, well, what does that radiation look like, and what are the different types that we come across, and why are they good and bad? Okay, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.